The Table is Yours podcast contains content that may not be suitable for some audiences, such as themes of violence, swearing, sexual language, alcohol, and death. We advise you to check the episode description for any other specific content warnings. Please, if any sequences or episodes are ever triggering or uncomfortable in any way, we ask you to take a pause from the episode or skip it entirely. It is important that our table is a safe space for everyone, including you.
The Table is Yours podcast is a role-playing adventure show where a bunch of friends around a table and, through video call, play tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons. Together, we hope to bring the joy and fun of our game to you, wherever you are, as if you're part of our table. For when you're sitting, creating, and playing with us, the table is yours.
Hello, and welcome to The Table is Yours, a role-playing adventure show where a bunch of friends sit around currently a virtual table to play role-playing tabletop games like Dungeons & Dragons. You know me. You tell me. I'll tell you. Yeah, that's right. I'm Con Riley. I'm your GM, your DM, your best friend. My pronouns are they, them, and you can follow me anywhere at Kryles. Let's get excited about the games.
Wow.
Oh, my fun fact.
Something fun you did this week.
I played the Pokemon card game for the first time in my 26 years of living. So, there you go. That was very fun. I like that. On to our Fergalicious friends. Starting with Vic Schmidt.
Hi, I'm Vic. This is Moonshine. She's in the way, as per usual. I play resident rat boy Terrence Astonis. My pronouns are they, them. Terrence's pronouns are he, they. We had a Halloween party after we recorded last week. It was cute. We played Survivor games because we were dressed up like Survivor and forced our friends to compete for ice cream.
Our love and admiration. Hi, I'm Andrew. I play Wash, pronouns he, him. You can find me somewhere in the woods. My fun fact is, I don't know, I made macaroni cheese with mushrooms last night.
It was really good.
Hey everybody, I'm Heather Lore. I play Shay Erebos. You can find me on Instagram at Land of Lore. Pronouns are she, they. And my fun fact this week is I finally fucking finished my gaming PC that I've been trying to get to work forever. Some pins on my CPU were bent, so I had to dismantle it. Spend like an hour popping back into place and putting it in, but it's gorgeous. It has an infinity mirror in the front. Mwah, mwah, mwah. It's beautiful.
Hi, I'm Sid. I play Codex Seori, half herring gun, wild magic sorcerer, rune knight fighter, she, her, also user. Fun fact, I hosted a board game night and I learned how to play Ascension.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I play Isabella Ballador, Tiefling Paladin and Bard of the group. We both use she, her pronouns, and I didn't really do that much for fun this week.
Hi, I'm Jake. I play Finley de Galloway, Fairbolt Druid. He, him, the both of us. You can find me crossing the street during rush hour. Fun fact, something fun I did this week is last night, I got out of work at 10 p.m. and then stood outside with my coworker for 2 hours talking just random nonsense and bullshit. Got into my car, which I was like, I'll drive because it's a little cold, and my battery died.
Oh no!
And of course, you can follow us anywhere at TTIYDND on all socials, all platforms. We have Instagram, we got Twitter, X, whatever, YouTube, TikTok, Patreon. We have cool stuff there by this point, hopefully. But with that, let us get into the recap of what happened on last episode of The Table is Yours.
What story shall be sung today? One can never know how the melody might sound. Our adventurers have already begun to pluck the strings of their story, and their combined composition is unfolding like a road before us.
So, when we got back to our keep, I gathered all the Fated Fates and sat them down to talk. Let's just say, with recent revelations and big things on our horizon coming soon, I thought we needed a bit of an attitude check. I basically explained to the others that some of us were not always the nicest or greatest of heroes to our allies and those we were swearing to protect. If we were supposed to work with people like the Demardas, Dogma, Ezra, or in fact even each other, we needed to have trust and sympathy for others as well as accountability for ourselves. And we needed to act less selfishly and woe is me, and rather to act like the title given to us, heroes. I let the rest of them sit with that as Codex and Wash went to bed. Issa was not very receptive, which upset Terrence, Shay, and Ezra. I walked with Dogma and his group to Yelena's house where they explained they were going to go back to the Grove to find out more about the family of Blood's involvement with the Grove. The next morning, Terrence agreed that we all needed to get on board and lighten up before we started planning for next steps. Since we were still waiting on the Demardas who were getting into the Russet Waste for one of the last 2 diamonds, we decided to look for the doghouse Clea told us about from the map Masquerade, a place in Murkside where we assumed the recently resurrected Verano was experimenting on the Family of Blood's blood dogs, which is where Wash's dad most likely was. We decided to try going through one pocket no one had been to before, the one in the 8th precinct. We teleported to Issa's giant mansion before searching the marketplace for the Sunnyside Tavern that led into the pocket. Along our way, though, we found a mysterious magical place called Tullis Tan's Magical Emporium, a magic shop/rave club that was run by a very boisterous elven man named Tullis Tan. Let's just say he was very intrigued with us Fated Fates and made some offers for, as he called them, tradesy wadesies. Although it is very fun in here, I'm hoping Shay's on the lookout for someone who can get us into the 8th's pocket.
We are starting right back where we left off, with everybody having a great time in a wonderful, wonderful place called Tullis Tan's Magical Emporium. A place full of drugs, sex, magic, booze, vibes. As you remember, Tullis Tan, who is the owner and namesake for this, proprietor of this place. Where we last left off, Terrence, you are already back there awaiting TBDD, so that's
He's
what I'll
sitting
put
there
there.
twiddling his thumbs, his big thumbs. He's like,
Terry's waiting for some fuck. Finley got dusted away.
Yeah, Finley got dusted away back there as well.
Shay's dancing and making out with people that are around her. She's making out with everybody.
You'll probably notice a elven woman with dark red hair, long red hair, that has a mark. That is the sign for someone who has been to Father's Den, the pocket in this precinct. So, any takers for who would like to go first?
Yeah, fuck it.
Alright, so yeah, Shay, the table's yours. Hank the dragon approaches you.
She grabs Issa's arm and just starts going.
We are dancing our way over to the woman with red hair.
Okay, she just seems to be dancing with this one person who looks like they might be some type of dryad or nymph. They have like what looks like leaves kind of coming off of their arms, and like longer hair that kind of like curls into vines at the probably by like the back of her knees, as well as this like just like air elemental or something. Like it's like this gust of wind has taken the form of a humanoid, and that is who this fully scarlet red-haired humanoid or elf, is dancing with.
Do I see any other symbols on the other two, or is it just the...
Just her. She's the only one you can even see in the building. I mean, it's wall-to-wall people. Like, I would say Tullis's is like the size of like a dive bar. You never feel claustrophobic. Like, weirdly enough, even if you're like right next to somebody, you're like, I have enough space. like
I can move.
You're like, is someone drugging me? Because I feel like I'd be probably really uncomfortable here. But like, no one would drug you if you weren't consenting to it.
Not until it's dance.
Not until us, you'd be out. Yeah, Tullis drops a sign that says, always get consent, and if you're not fun, get out.
That's the motto under the sign.
Don't forget, everyone. 1, then 2. Okay? Consent can be fun. If you don't, Robert would kill you. And he points at this like weird, like, the best way I can describe it is he's probably about the size of a gnome or a dwarf, but he looks like a large root. Like almost like a ginseng root with like arms. Hey! What are you guys doing? You're supposed to be having fun. Are you having fun? It just permeates in your mind. You're like, what the
So they're gonna dance up. And then I think as soon as they get up, Shay's just gonna be like, hello, you lovely people. What are all your names?
The gust of wind blows at you.
Ooh, yeah.
The potential nymph or dryad, all she does is kind of like take off a leaf off her arm and hand it to you. She seems very like high. And then the woman with red hair, she kind of goes, and I'm Ashala.
Hello, Ashala.
Hi.
Are you all looking to dance? What's going on? She's like kind of yelling over everybody.
Of course, I would love to dance with you.
Grab 5 shots. She's kind of pointing, and then she goes back to dancing. She's like, have fun, grab 5 shots.
I'll get him, Shay, and then I just waltz over like this still.
Shay's full dancing.
You walk back to Ashala, the nymph, and the gust of wind, and Shay. This is a weird setup for a joke. I don't know.
Shay's like playing with the dryad's hair, asking permission first,
Yeah.
and then she gives it. She's like playing with her hair and like dancing with the gust of wind, and then like slowly making her way around Ashala, just like vibing with them all.
Ashala will be like, oh, good. I was wondering if you were going to get the 5 shots for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect.
Well, I was wondering if anyone here likes to go to the Icy Ale to cool down after this sort of a dance party.
Smooth.
Oh, yeah. I love going to the Icy Ale. Why?
Well, I'm familiar with other taverns similar to it, so I was just wondering if we could go together. I might like to meet some people that I knew from back in the day over there.
She gets that SpongeBob face of like, you like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward? And she goes,
Yes.
you want to get in the pocket, don't you?
I do.
I can get you in.
Really? I would love to go.
Yeah, I could get you both in. Why do you guys want to go? Just out of curiosity.
I mean, we just kind of want to explore a new one.
It wouldn't have to do anything with you guys being the Fated Fates. Record scratch.
No. When she says that, well, if you know that we're the Fated Fates, then you certainly know some of our histories, I would assume. Do you know who I am?
Yeah, you're Shay Boobaros or something. Sorry,
Yes, exactly,
Arahos.
yeah.
I mean,
Arrow boobs.
yeah, you're Shay something, and you're Isabella Balador.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's me.
You guys have vibes that I like, but yeah, what are you gonna do down there? I only ask because I do need to give a clarifying reason for why I'm adding any more than one person to go down. And you will only be able to add more people going down. Like, as you probably know this, because I know you know your way around some pockets. Which, she kind of gives you this knowing look, Shay, and she, like, bites her lip, and then she's like almost like she gives you, like, this hand wave of, like, I'll mention it later.
Shay totally gets it.
As you would know, being someone who goes through pockets themselves, you can't start inviting people until you've been there at least, what is it, like a month? So, obviously, unfortunately, it can't just be I bring in Shay, she brings in you, referencing to Issa, and then Codex, Wash, where's Finley and Terrence? You know, like, but if I give reason, usually the best reasons are truths sandwiched into lies. So, like, not a full lie, but something that's kind of true.
So, Shola, have you ever met Big T?
I don't think so, but I know someone I know a Darian.
Okay. Yes, Darian is very good friends with Big T, and a very good friend of ours as well, actually. But Big T is a bartender at a very fine establishment somewhere else.
I heard bottom. I was like, what?
Big T is a
Big T's a
bottom.
bottom.
Big T's a bottom.
Yeah, Tullis goes, when everyone's here, everyone's a bottom. Yeah.
Yay!
Rule 3, if you're here, you're a bottom.
When you're here, you're bottom.
And really, really fine print is for Tullis. So yeah, I wouldn't say the full truth, but I would make sure that whatever your lie is like, you know, like pills and a peanut butter for like your pets, like, you know.
Here's the full truth then. I think there is someone in the pocket that wants to do harm to other people that are typically in the pocket, and we want to get them out of there. It's bad for your business, it's bad for the bartender's business, it's bad for everyone's safety in the pocket, and we want to go find them and get them out because we think that they're there.
Do you have a name?
I do.
Can I know the name?
Is this a safe place for such things? I mean, we've already been talking about it.
Considering...
Shay's gonna put her arm around her and, like, pull her in and, like, put her hand to that side and, like, whisper in her ear as much as a whisper she can in the club. Just be like, it's a man named Verano.
So he is back.
From what we've heard.
Clever blushes, pulls herself back to be like, oh, he is back, to kind of like lean back from you, and then she'll kind of come back and be like, oh, you don't even need to lie. If I just tell them you're going to kill Verano, you get a free pass in.
Excellent.
Yeah, people hate that guy.
We hate your vibe.
Alright, Finley or Terrence, let's go behind the fucking curtain for a second.
Part the kimono a bit.
You're wearing a kimono?
Yeah, Terry is wearing a kimono.
Tullis will walk in and be like, where the hell did you get that kimono, darling?
I found it over there. It's very soft, and I thought it would look nice. And you kind of like...
Aw, look at you. You're just so you. I like it. I like when people are themselves. So, what kind of way do you want this? You'll just kind of stand there.
Terry's eyes get big.
You don't have to answer it. This could be the end of it. You don't have to answer it. I'll go as far as you... I won't go far, but with the foreplay, I'll go as far as you'd like.
Terry says face down, ass up.
Yeah.
We can fade to black. Terry probably is like, I'll let you take the lead, and then let's.
Oh, Tony, of course. All right, Finley, what are you doing?
If Tullis walks in, Finley's clothes are neatly folded onto like a bench by a bed, and he's just like propping himself up with like just like a silk blanket covering the important bits, and he's just kind of like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. It took kind of a long time. I might have fallen asleep.
It's been like a minute.
Tired."
Okay. So, and he kind of like, you watch as he waves his hand, and the whole bed situation kind of changes. The silk blanket on top of you kind of like curls up to your neck and goes around your body like like the fucking thing they put over you when you get a haircut. Because he talked about his hair, it changes into a barber's chair as a mirror kind of appears in front of you. I know this looks like I'm going to do something to your hair. I know you said not to, and I won't unless you change your mind. But what are we thinking for your new get-up?
Before we go into like the aesthetics of it, this is what I'm thinking for what it could do to help me. I don't like getting hit or hurt. Because if I get hit or hurt, someone has to focus on healing me when I like to focus on healing other people. So I want to kind of avoid getting hurt.
Okay.
Because, I don't normally wear armor, druid things. We don't.
So I don't know that because we have just met.
Well, I'm a druid.
Okay.
And he, druid crafts, like a flowery smell into the air.
Delightful.
What if, I had a built-in, deterrent that was oh, if you hit me and you actually land the hit, you're gonna get hurt by it?
Well, if you're wildfire, I could always make it being hit physically by something could maybe leave a little singe. And he kind of on your shoulder.
Okay, cool. That's pretty much all I can think about.
Okay, well, then stand up.
Okay, and he just, gets up, no hesitation, just, stands. Alright.
You said the payment, so,
right.
At your leisure.
He just throws, the thing across the room. It's just do you want me to turn? Spin?
Just stand right there. That's what will fade to black.
Shay wants to go talk to Tullis about some magic stuff.
Okay. Yep. He's back at the counter. He's just standing at the counter probably after you watch Terrence and Finley walking out. Finley, would you like to describe what you're wearing?
It's a lot of just, silky, flowy fabrics. Kind of like a mesh crop on right now that has sashes are yellow into orange into a fiery reds. 2 of those go over the shoulder, and it has a heavy bead, and he also still has the scarf as well. A lot of fabric on, actually. And then he has gold armbands, and then a big belt, a leather belt that has the sashes folded in to make kind of a skirt, descending around the back into a tied braided thing. And then one little sheer fabric that goes over, and you're noticing now, if you look down, that he's not wearing pants, he's wearing mesh shorts that go over a subligar.
Well, lovelies, what can I help you with?
So I have a couple ideas, and I think that you could help me with either, neither, whatever you like. So
how about this? I could give you, and you watch as he's holding up his hands as if he's already gripping a weapon, as you watch this long glaive kind of appear that has this almost obsidian glass blade to it. Well, one swing with this, as long as people are close enough, you can get 3 people in one swing.
Yeah, I'm used to using 2 weapons. Is there any way I can do that?
You watch as he kind of takes it, and then he watches the blade from the other side. He kind of snaps it, and it comes to a chain. He's it's just same effect, just different flavor.
I love that. Yes, I would love that. What payment?
How about this? The Fated Fates. You have many adversaries from spies I have.
Yes.
Speaking of spies. And points at Ashala. But she seems to like you. It's always good to have a spy that likes you.
Oh, I like her, yes.
The spy who shagged me. No, awesome.
Not yet.
Do you have any plans to attack that pink-haired woman? Or Lavender?
Oh, the young one?
If you could allow me, here's what we'll cut it. It'll be a deal with no interest. But if you can, how much time do you think you'd need to be able to get me an audience with Arathia?
Good question. It depends on what you would like to discuss.
I would just I want to know what magic she has.
Oh.
She's an adversary, yes?
Yes.
If you can promise me just a moment of her time, just to see what the abilities she has. If you could just promise me that time, how about a year? That should be enough time. If you can get an audience with me just for less than a minute, you just hold on to that, think of me, and I'll appear. Otherwise, it'll just come back to me and we can renegotiate.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So you guys kind of party out there for a while. Ashala says she'll probably point you out where the ICL Tavern is, and she'll be I'll meet you there in an hour. After being glitterified, changed, and different, and partied out.
We're going to go meet Ashala at the Icy Ale, and she's going to let us in because apparently everyone hates Verano. Fuck him. And they like that.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
All right, so it looks just kind of this unassuming. I mean, despite this place being a bit more not religiously devout always, and having obviously a hidden area where there's more eclectic and colorful people and places around. It just kind of seems like probably very similar to like any of the taverns that are like in the south of the 3rd or the north of the 4th precincts, but just has like this hanging sign with like a picture of a very frothy tankard on the outside that says the ICL Tavern. After you guys are done like eating and drinking and whatever for about an hour, Ashala will show up. All right, so I'll be taking you guys down, right? That's the thing?
Yes. Shay's gonna like link her arm into Ashala's and be like, all right, darling, lead us there.
Sure. Okay. So, hi, Fate of Fates. Nice to meet you. My name is Ashala. I know all about you. All right. Then she'll like go up to the bar and she'll be like, okay, I'd like to order 4 frosted ales, 2 large platters of fish, 8 water tankards not filled, and a shot. And you watch as the tiefling will kind of like nod and then hand her a key, and then Ashala will pick it up and go, thank you, and then walk like kind of out into one of the other dining areas, not like the main tap room, and kind of take you to like this back hall that probably like you would assume otherwise. And as you do pass, there are like, you know, washrooms to as you would in a tavern, not for wash, but at the very back, what looks like a no entry door. She'll walk up, she'll take the key, she'll place it on the door, and you watch as the key dissolves and the door goes away as you guys walk through. You will watch as on these walls, they don't have fingers pinned to them, they don't have mouths, tongues, ears, whatever. They have full scalps. Some that if they're a tiefling, they will have the horns on them still. If they're a dragonborn, they'll have like the full scale and like the start of where their horns and like their spine starts. It is visceral. It is disturbing. It is scary. And you kind of watch as Ashala kind of walks by. She's like, don't mind those. As she like kind of like starts to take you down that same spiral staircase into a pocket. And she like continues down and starts walking down. She has a very cheery attitude. When you get down here, immediately you kind of like smell this overwhelmingly sense of like incense kind of burning all around this area. Kind of pervades or permeates the air. As well as it seems like all of these buildings are armored in a way. Like they have like sheeted metal put on them or like bricks kind of put up to kind of give this like rough and gruff, almost like Mad Maxian style outer side to it. Everybody kind of seems to be pretty normal though. Despite like the rough and gruff look of this place and like the jagged and razor sharp areas, everybody kind of seems to be like in regular clothes. They look to be actually more in regular Bergian clothes than other people. Some seem to be pretty finely dressed. It's weird. Like it's kind of like this kind of, yes.
I was going to say, as we're walking like down the stairs, like before we get in there, Terrence might look to Ashala and be like, why is it called Father's Den?
Oh, because of Daddy.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Daddy.
Care for a little more explanation?
Can you tell me a little bit more about Daddy?
I don't have a father, so can you tell me a little more about Daddy? Thank you.
Sure. So my father, Ansif Thalar, is the proprietor of Father's Den.
Oh, he's like your actual dad.
He's my actual father, yes.
Oh, okay.
People call him the Blood King. People call him...
She's the pocket version of Issa.
Yes.
My father kind of, being the one in charge, has been in charge for as long as... it was the first pocket, so it was like right after the new city was built. But don't worry, I'm sure he already knows who you guys are, and I've already approved it with him, and he hates Verano.
Don't we all?
So, you know,
We should start a fan club.
keep your mouth fucking shut and you won't die, you know? Like, this is probably by the time that you're getting to the bottom of the stairs and you're just kind of like walking around. Yeah, if I had to assume Verano, what we've heard is Verano, from just all pockets, does not stay in. He's always past the blacklights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why I know Big T. Big T made the blacklights.
Ah, there
Yes.
you are.
Because I think the echo chamber was the second pocket, or maybe it was the tin hole. No, I don't really know. I don't really care. I kind of just...
This is the first. That's all that matters.
I vibe. Yeah, so she'll kind of like lead you around, and she'll be like, if you want, you can meet Dad, but I'd suggest not. Sometimes he scares people. If he doesn't scare me, obviously, he's my dad.
That sounds
We'll
cool.
hold off for now, as long as
Oh,
he
I
knows
meet
that we're
people.
here.
Yeah, I kind of want to meet him.
Of course you do, Codex.
Great. And we'll clean out some bad vermin in here, hopefully.
As she sees you up where you assume the blacklights must be, probably gives you a little kiss if you allow it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, as similar to before, and to describe for newcomers past the blacklights as players, there is this ring of not ring, but it looks like this type of border fence. The best way I can describe it would be flag markers almost, that are these bioluminescent shrooms of some sort, stalks that glow this kind of faint purple, the kind of ebb and flow their glow. I don't know how to say that in any better way, which Terrence will probably point out as these are what are known as the blacklights. The moment you pass the blacklights, you're in basically uncharted territory. For Shay, you would know that there are a myriad of stories about what's past the blacklights. Again, I'll throw this out to Wash, Terrence, and Shay, like I did for Terrence, Wash, and Connie prior. Feel free to make up I've heard of this weird thing. Before, people have said there has been if you get close to one of the rivers, because there are rivers in every precinct has a river or something, because it's an easy way to control the flow of commerce. No, control flow of trade and such between precincts, between the Grove and the Burg and the Wilds, the Burg with each other into the Fifth, where, as you know, there are 2 ports in the Fifth that lead the best way to get to anywhere else in the rest of the Eclipsed Realms, Zodona. But there are rivers down here, but there's stories of there's things in the river that will grab and drown you. There are things of there's these squishy stuff you can walk on that if you walk on it, don't stop. And if it feels like it's grabbing onto you, just keep walking. Don't look at it. You might hear voices that call out for help. Don't go towards them. Etc., etc., etc. A lot of the fairy tales, don't tell children's warning fairy tales. A lot of these are true down here, or at least more likely to be true than false. But the moment you pass the blacklights, it does feel like the air sours a bit. There is kind of I don't want to say it's clean in the pockets, but there is this heavy weight to the air when you pass the blacklights. As you guys start heading northeast,
Bam.
Got it. Okay. You'll see the light from Terrence's small little lantern he got from Gug light up. And as you know, it will also light up any magical darkness that there is any right now. But as you guys are walking, it's just a lot of abandoned houses, abandoned buildings. As you're closer to the blacklights, things are more graffitied, and as you go out further, you might see things of scratches on things, or bones just kind of strewn out. But yeah, as you guys are walking forward, I will leave you with that. It's eerie, it's weird, and it almost seems like your voices echo a bit. There is more spacious air here.
Terrence will probably lead the way with the light, even if it's shaking a little bit because he's scared. Just because he has the light and he knows that not everyone can see in the dark. We should be fine for a little while. It doesn't usually start to get bad until it's I'd say 100 feet past is when things start to call out, at least. And then it will probably, from what I understand, get progressively worse the deeper we go, and we are going to the deepest point, so that's fun. But eyes straight ahead. Don't listen to things that call you. We've done this before. Don't stop walking. Don't look at sounds. Look at the light. Look at the light, and we'll just keep going forward.
Unless you see a different light, in which case, don't look at that.
Don't look at that either.
So just stick together, more or less.
Stick together, yeah.
Stay in the light, stick together.
If you hear anyone from our group sound like they're very far away, it's not true. It's not true. Finley, I believe this is your first time down here, past the blacklights.
That is true.
You are a very helpful guy. You love to help people, and I know that about you. Don't help anyone down here. If you'll hear a help, don't. Not real. Fake. Fake, fake, fake. All of it's fake.
Correct. But what if it is real?
Well, it's real. It's just they're not really in need of help.
They want to hurt you, really.
Yeah.
It's nobody with innocent intentions will cry for that out here.
Well, we don't know if they're people or monsters.
It's the horrors,
It's the horrors, yeah.
They
horrors.
persist.
They are very persistent here.
Another thing, too, as you guys are walking, or as you guys first past the blacklights, Terrence, you'll see V2 kind of like look up to you, and you'll watch as he like blinks twice, and kind of makes that noise to look at you. Not like a scare, just kind of like getting your attention. As you watch, he blinks, and then you hear he like kind of opens his mouth a little bit, and you start to hear like must have been like a magic mouth or something that was casted on it. As you hear Ezra's voice say, "Hey, Terrence, if you say command headlights, V2's eyes will light up and give you a way to see in the past the blacklights."
Oh, he like pats V2 on the head and is like, "Good boy." V2 headlights.
Blink, as you see like lights go out, and it'll go out in a 20-foot cone.
So make sure everyone stays within this light, and then we can use V2's headlights to see what's ahead of us.
As that starts to happen too, you'll watch Cinnamon kind of like flit up on top of V2 as he kind of just goes. And he coughs out a little flame that kind of just like rests on top of his head, like almost like a plate, like almost like a chow, like the chow garden.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like the decals on the Among Us.
Yeah, it's just like a little flame that like rests above his head, just to make him feel a little safe as he kind of just like nuzzles in on V2's back.
But again, just don't look at anything. I just don't think anything, even if it is not magically hidden, it could still be evil and horrible and violent and scary and creepy and.
As much as I'm trying not to look at anything.
Well, we obviously can look forward. But if you catch it, like, I'm talking like peripherals, like seeing anything in the peripheral. No.
So, Terrence, as soon as you're talking about that, you do see like, just like way off in the distance of the corner of your eyes, Finley and Terrence, as Terrence is describing this. And maybe you're just seeing it because Terrence is describing it. Maybe you're freaking yourself out. And that could be the actual case of what is happening with its description. You'll find out. But it's almost like you'll see like a shadow off in the distance and it's gone when you look. And then like a shadow off in the distance and it's gone when you look. It creeps behind an alley or a corner of a building or like whatever, behind a pail, like something.
I see it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You see them. You will see like literally the shadow. And then if you're not looking, you'll just see it like it's like shadow that like is there and then it's just gone.
Are we all... Sorry, just to clarify, are we all experiencing seeing things out of the corners of our eyes?
Yeah.
I'm sure you just hear Terrence muttering to Finley. You probably don't hear what he's saying, but Terrence is just psyching Finley out even more, probably. So I'm just like, the horrors.
You start to hear a voice. Like, Terrence is like, it's fine. It's almost like when Terrence is talking and the anxiety is kind of like bubbling. It feels like the anxiety, or like the sound of Terrence just like fades out as you just hear whispering, and the whispering, it just starts saying something that is like, it's almost like as Terrence is fading out, it starts fading into your hearing, as you start to hear, "In the darkest woods where shadows creep, the Wraithmar stirs from its endless sleep. With hollow eyes and a chilling moan, it haunts you when you're all alone." And it just keeps repeating that and repeating that and repeating that until eventually it'll like fade back out. And Terrence, if you want to give me like a in play.
Well, I mean, I think most of it is actually fake, so we don't even have to pay it. We can talk about other fake things. I don't know, like what else is fake? Or happy like monsters, but not monsters. They're like unicorns. That's kind of a monster, but it's not really a monster.
Finley looks terrified.
Are you? Terrence will like link your arm and just be like.
He'll probably like jump really hard, like that it like tugs you to the side.
He like puts his hand on your shoulder and is like, "It's okay."
Okay. Issa, same thing. Shay's probably just like talking to you or whatever. It starts to fade out as you suddenly hear a whispering start, and it says, "Beware its whispers in the dead of night, for the Wraithmar's touch brings a dreadful fright. It prowls and hunts in the moon's cold glare, a ghastly spectre with a deadly stare." And then it like comes back in.
Issa's looking to see if the moon's out and is grabbing Shay's arm.
Looks at
More
cave ceiling.
Yeah, sees the roof.
So Terrence holding on to Finley, same thing as you just hear something creep into your head as you hear, "So keep your lanterns burning bright and stay away from the Wraithmire's sight. For if it catches you in its grip, you'll vanish into the endless crypt." Wash, you hear, "In the heart of the dark it waits to snare the unwary souls who dare to dare. The Wraithmire hungers for your fear, so stay close, dear child, and draw it near." Shay, you have heard of a Wraithmire before. The little you have heard of this tale is it is basically like described before, a boogeyman tale for children. You've heard it started from the Grove, but you don't even know or it's from the wilds. You've heard it's started from so many different parts of Zabraria, but makes sense that maybe it was always from Murkside and somehow just crept out and with people. Obviously it goes somewhere. You know that it is a master of psychological horror. It can instill fear, and will kind of siphon from that fear before it attacks. The warning signs are a couple different things. Whispers in the dark, flickering shadows, fading lights as well, animal behavior changing, which we'll get to, and one last thing, which I would very much like everyone just to roll. You know what? Roll a vibe check.
Ooh.
Oh. Like a D20 or like a...
Percentage.
55.
I got a 55.
3.
59.
19.
I got a 77.
Hey.
Okay, you will actually not see something, but everybody else will. Shay, the last thing that you remember, which might assist you, but I will say you know that the moment people start seeing this, and even with your ability to kind of, I don't want to say meta, but meta know that this is what's happening, it's still going to very much psychologically affect you, and there's no way of getting anybody else out of it. It's known for showing distorted reflections of basically things that people have regrets about. So ghosts or stuff like that. So.
I love a fucked up reflection.
So, Terrence, as you guys are kind of walking down this dark alley, Terrence, you will see Dominic just standing at the opposite side of, if you guys, just say, behind you is the back. The opposite side of where this kind of goes to, you will see kind of standing in the middle of this, kind of path you guys are following, Dominic, your mother's ex-boyfriend who you killed. And standing next to him is a person you never knew the name of. You didn't know much about him other than he was some humanoid guy. And he's carrying what looks like a bloodied sack. This bloodied burlap sack that out of it you see chuckle caps falling out. Both are bloodied. Both are haunting.
Does Dominic have any arms?
No. Wash. Standing in front of you are two sights. You see both your mother and father, but in a different way than you'd think. You see your mother who looks drained dry. She looks like a husk, mummified version of herself. You see this large beast that just kind of constantly is changing forms, but it's always this quadrupedal beast. And you see, standing in front of the two of them, an almost elongated and sharper version of Rickard. His teeth look large. They're shining white. His nails kind of grow, or maybe even his fingers entirely. And he kind of is hunched over almost like this is hawk as he's just kind of standing looking at you. Shay, you see yourself 3 figures as well. You will see one of what looks like a tiefling with 2 separate horns that are different, or 2 horns that are different. One that is curled and one that kind of goes out into an angle. And his jaw is extended, elongated, kind of going very large, almost like the maw is going impossibly long, dropping to the floor. And it just looks like he has bulging veins coming out of his muscles. And he has this tattered war clothing and this long sword that he has on his back. You see your mother, who looks like she has been engulfed by... It's almost like she's become half dryad, but not in a pleasant way. You see her skin is more like bark, and the tattoos she had when she was alive are more like burns in a tree, and it looks like wilting dead flowers. And standing in front of her, not necessarily your father as well, is this almost hauntingly elegant version of Gila. As you see, she has branches that look almost like antlers coming out from the back of her head. Long green hair that turns into vines that fall to the floor, and this white dress covered in blood. Codex. In front of you, you see what looks like Dogma, Kirik, and Safi. They don't look angry. They look scared. And it follows in suit, understandably, since they're all 3 of them supplicated on the floor and crawling towards you, as you see a leash is around all 3 of them, being held by this larger, dominating Arathia. Her hair kind of flows like a ghostly apparition past her shoulders, and it looks like the black train of her dress envelops your family in shadows as they're like almost suffering to walk forward as she is standing there. Her right hand is holding these leashes to your family, and her left hand just slowly twirling above her hand is what looks like the Darkroot diamond. Inside the diamond, the face of Connie. Issa, you see one figure standing opposite side of you, and the figure is not, I think even in your fear, at first it's weird to like look at who this is. As you see somebody carrying this large object that you're just kind of like, it's like slowly focusing in, as it looks like somebody that has like immensely sorrowful eyes that kind of like drain blue down their cheeks. As you notice, the blue kind of highlights what looks like purple skin and red hair that flows very, very long to the back. She's carrying what looks like a large type of wind instrument. She has horns that kind of curl back, and they seem to like go all the way back and stab her kind of like in her shoulders as she seems to be suffering a bit from the pain of it. She's larger, and she's carrying this instrument almost like it's this large club, as she's dressed in what looks like almost concert regalia, but it's like shredded and torn and doesn't seem right. And her mouth is sewn shut. Finley, you're fine. So, what you see, Finley, it does startle you. You don't see anything weird. I mean, it's weird. Well, you do see something weird. It's not like, okay, you don't know what they're saying. It doesn't matter. You're probably going to be the most likely because they're going to be a little bit consumed in what the fuck, it would not surprise me if you were the one who was like, is everybody else seeing this? And they're all like, ah!
Seeing this shit?
You see this dark, formless specter. It like is almost like, it seems like it's like shrouded in like this like sinister mist that like rides like a murky flowing shadowy river. It kind of spreads out across the very damaged bricks and cobblestone of this path you're on, because it's like a formless, or it's like a more withered road of what was once there. But every so often in like the midst of this like shadowy aura in it, you might catch like a glimpse of like long skeletal fingers that like stretch out almost like claws. No eyes necessarily, but it does look like there's pale lights for where eyes would be. And it seems to almost be like kind of wreathed in this long shroud that seems to be this like sickly green, yellow, like a bile or puce color. That's like kind of what enwraps this entire thing. Like the shadow pours out of it, but it's like this like long cloak that goes all over it, almost in like a, not necessarily Grim Reaper way, but kind of like that. And with it all, you just, from these shadows, it doesn't seem like it's permeating from where this head would be, but you just hear like from the shadows low-pitched moanings, like, and whispers, and it's almost like the sound of a cacophonous restless souls. And it just is kind of like reaching out, and it looks almost like strings of shadow are hitting your friends.
Finley's gonna give the loudest yee doggy and like hook a firebolt right at the thing.
You just see like this like blanket that falls to the ground, and it just looks like, you just see kind of like it probably looks like an elven script, like initials or a name, but it just looks like it was like a child's blanket at one point. And it's much smaller than like the giant like form it took before, but it looks like some type of like, it's not, I don't think if anybody has it, like, doesn't know anything about ghost stories and like real life ghosts in this world, like, it's not too uncommon to be like, this must have been like a prized possession of what once was a person who cared about it, but now that it's lost in the dark, became a Wraithmire.
Kind of confused though. Y'all were just blankly staring off into nothing to start there.
I mean, I saw a vision.
Mm-hmm, same.
Y'all got a vision and I didn't? What?
Not a good one.
Oh.
Are we saying that Shay has like experience and or knows about the Wraithmire pretty well?
Yes.
Yeah, you would know that the Wraithmire, like, people think like, people aren't sure if there's Wraithmires or if there is a Wraithmire and it's just this energy spirit, whatever, that will like you've defeated it possessing the quilt, but the Wraithmire persists. Like, who knows? Or there's just a bunch of them. Like, just like the horrors, it persists. You don't know if it's like a single Wraithmire and it's just like this spirit that will possess whatever, or if there's like, because you've never heard of like, we were surrounded by Wraithmires. It's always like, there's like a single Wraithmire, you know? And they're usually, but they're born out of like sad, like depressing, sad things, like something bad happened or like something was lost. Like, cause that could be like, maybe that was like a child who like like had to go, like maybe they just left they moved upstairs and they left their blanket and oh no, that blanket is now sad. Yeah, like who knows?
Yeah, Shay will tell the whole group what she knows about the Wraithmire. Just like, so what I know of the Wraithmire is, number one, it's just a tale of boogeyman that I've heard throughout the years. I know that they are always born of depressing or sad things. I've only heard it as one, so I don't know if it was this one that will continue on and reappear as something else in the future. I don't know if it is a multitude of them. I do know that they attack psychologically and they will wear you down with your fears. So we should stay on guard, not only from physical attacks, but from a psychological as well.
She's like, it's like from before when we were just walking in pairs and her eyes would like wander off into the dark and then she would like recorrect it and look straight ahead. She kind of is like sidled up next to Terrence and like you can feel like every now and then her eyes like wander over to you and then she like course corrects back to looking ahead and she's like, I could pry, but I won't.
And I think at one point we like lock eyes.
It's awkward. She's like,
it's awkward. You good?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. You good?
Why do you keep looking at me?
You look kind of fucked up a little bit. I don't know. You just look, you have a look on your face that says like, I saw something. The horrors, you know, they persist. And she like kind of like bounces her head back and forth. Like,
they do. That's true.
Oh.
Yeah, that one just really, really got me, I think.
So you saw, like, something scary?
For me, I think. I told you guys about Dominic, right? My mom's...
Yeah, the guy you exploded.
Yeah. He was there, and he looked rough, and, but there was someone else, and I haven't told you guys about this one. And I was kind of hoping I never would have to, but I feel like I would be lying at this point if I didn't come clean about it. So I will. When I first started working for Verano, I had, like... Vizrai had brought me down, and I had kind of the base idea of a serum that I had, like, been pitching to people, I guess, but no one really received it or understood what it was. And so Verano actually heard me out and gave me money said he would give me money to make it happen and make it work. But if I disappointed him, then I would be at risk, and so would my family. So I had the, like, base concoction, and it kind of worked, but not really. It still made people explode, which wasn't great. So I needed something to stabilize it, something like a drug that would enhance it and stabilize it. And I didn't really know where to find that other than in Murkside, so I went down to the echo chamber and I started asking around for drugs, and this guy, I never got his name, he said that he had something, a mushroom, that would enhance your adrenaline, pump your heart, make you feel like you were capable of anything, a big upper, and I thought that with everything that would be exactly what I needed. So he took me past the blacklights to where he grew these mushrooms, and he told me that they're from the Grove and that they're really expensive and that they're the only thing that I could think of that would work. And he gave me a number to buy them, but I didn't have anything. Verano hadn't given me anything yet. And he's shaking at this point. He kind of grabs his hands together. I don't know what came over me, but I just snapped. I needed it. I needed what he had, so I killed him. I killed him, and I took everything that was there, everything that he had, and I buried him in rubble, and I ran out, and I never looked back, and I never talked about it or told anybody, and I just left him there. And I killed him. And I never even knew his name. I didn't know anything about him. And he stops in his tracks at this point, and everything else, I'm guilty enough. Everything else that I've done, Dominic I killed because he hurt me. He hurt my ma. I needed to kill him to protect him. The people we fight, I kill because I know that they're gonna hurt us if I don't. The graduation, I didn't want that to happen. And it wasn't my serum, but I still live with the guilt for that. But this guy, that was just me. That was just something that I did for my own gain. I just killed him. There was no reason. I just killed him.
Terrence, it's, and she kind of, like, looks at everyone and is just like, and kind of, like, reaches out and, like, takes Terrence's hands, and she's kind of just, like, trying to match Terrence's level so that kind of grounding, I guess, to, like, make eye contact with him. And she's like, Terrence, it's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but it's...
Codex, how am I supposed to call myself a hero when I've done things like this?
Terrence, how are any of us supposed to call ourselves heroes? But, I mean, I think a lot of heroes are just trying their best, really, at the end of the day, you know? You're trying... It doesn't change what you did in the past. It doesn't change anything about what you did then, but, like, now you're trying to be good, right? You're trying to fix things, and I think that's shit, Terrence. That's what I've said to a lot of fucked up people in our lives. The point is that you're trying, right?
I guess. I live with a lot of guilt for the things that I've done. And I'm trying to get through a lot of it. But this one, I don't think I can ever forgive myself for.
I think Finley is going to, like, walk sternly over, and then he's just gonna, like, sit on his butt on the dirt and just, like, put his knees up and, like, lean in and look at you, and he could be like, I think the thing is, I don't think you're trying to be good. I think you just are good. You made a choice. And you made it with circumstances with what they were. It's not right, what you did, what you took. But you weighed the choices of what you truly believed were the only possibilities. You over him. You chose survival over the alternative. I'm not saying that you can replace that life that you took, but what's important is if you move on and you forget and you pretend it never happened, that's the bad. But if you believe in yourself and you keep moving forward and you don't hide from what you did, you own it, you know that that was a mistake that you made, you have to work to atone for that with whatever means you have possible to you. We already all know that we're all capable, being mortal people, of doing some form of bad at some point to some capacity. And sometimes we're going to mess up. That's why you have to atone for the mistakes that you make, correct them, fix yourself, change yourself, and move on. And that's what we're all here to help you do.
I just hope... I don't know. I get this fear that that version of me exists still, and I don't think it does. I haven't felt like it, but when I fight and I know that it's for a good reason, but it's just, I don't know. I'm afraid that version of me still lives inside, and I don't want to be that person. I really don't.
At that point, Shay's definitely going to come up and give Terrence a hug.
I think he just starts to cry now that everyone, like, people are around him. He's just like...
I think the hard part is that we're all actively running from the part of us that we don't wish to be or that we don't want to be. But I think you're doing the right thing. You're regretting the poor choices, and you're actively trying to not be the person that you don't want to be. We all have the things about ourselves that we worry that we'll slip into. This is just yours, but you have people. You've got friends. You have family. You have all these things. And most importantly, you have yourself. None of us think you're a bad person. I've killed people before. It's sometimes right, sometimes wrong. But you live with it. You remember them, even if you never knew their name.
I think he pulls himself up and, like, takes his sleeve and, like, wipes his eyes and just kind of like looks around at everybody. I hope that you guys can at least, you don't have to like forgive me or anything, but
good, I don't. Walks away. random guy in the Murkside.
The Rainfire.
I think also when Terrence says, I hope that you guys can all forgive me, and they're just gonna be like, unfortunately, it's not up for any of us to forgive you. It's just for us to accept who you are and what you're doing. Forgiveness is going to come from either the people that you hurt from it or yourself.
After that, Shay's gonna, like, keep her hand on his shoulder and follow it up with, Terrence, every single one of us here has done both great and terrible things. I think every individual is made up of, for lack of a better way to preface it, good and bad. And the effort here is to try and hurt as few people as possible. And I, for one, have seen you try to help people more than hurt them. And at the end of the day, that's all that all of us are trying to do, really. We're trying to help, we're trying to protect, we're trying to do what we think will be better for more people, as opposed to trying to hurt more people. We're trying to stop the people that are hurting innocent people. And labels, or whatever, I don't give a fuck. We're just doing what we can to try and make every day a little more livable. Make every day a little bit better for everyone.
Yeah, you're right. You're all right. And I appreciate all of you. I didn't think I'd ever be able to tell anyone about it. I didn't know how I would be able to. So thank you for hearing me, even if it's not something great to hear. And let's go kill Verano, I guess. And he's gonna like kind of stand up straighter and be like, we should probably stop sitting in the middle of I've realized standing still I'm starting to sink into the mud, so I think we should keep going.
Yeah, so after like, probably like 2-3 hours of walking still, and like every so often just be like, shh. Okay, we're good. And then like continuing, eventually like it's gonna get to that point where you're like, we have been walking for like 5-6 hours, like in total now, or maybe even more than that, because I think it took a while till you guys ran into the Wraithmire. So you guys like, we need to rest, and it's hard to tell. Like you're like, aha, the grove up ahead. Like it's really dark. So, but probably you get to like what looks like used to be maybe like a small like it looks like some type of like maybe like not factory, but it looks like what used to be like this like looks like a district of maybe like blacksmiths or smiths. Maybe this is where artificers first started way back in the day. But it looks like a lot of like buildings and like smithies are around that all are obviously looking abandoned. That probably is the best place to set up shop for the night, because they have metal doors that you can probably like securely tightly have them secured. I can't speak right now. I don't know what's going on.
No, this is great. This is good.
It seems safer than other places.
We'll probably go in like a team to like check the perimeter, check inside, make sure there's no ghouls.
So you guys will be can board up all the windows and walls and doors, and you'll probably set up like loosely based alarms with just things you guys have in your packs in case there's anybody who would trip like a wire. So that
we're making use of Magic Mouth.
Finley is also casting Druid's Grove.
Should I make fire by hand, or can someone with magic do that?
Oh, sure. Finley produces flame.
You guys watch as V2 kind of sits down next to Terrence, and then sits like Nipper. If you don't know who Nipper is the dog in front of the phonograph. That, like, that dog, the Jack T. Russell for the phonograph.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like sits like that, and like you watch as his mouth opens, just wow. As you hear Ezra's voice start to permeate from it, you kind of see like where a tongue would be is like a sending stone. Hey, is this thing on?
Oh.
Is this like a direct line?
I mean, would it not be?
I didn't know if this was like a pre-recorded message. Hey, what's up?
Hey, yeah, I got Sham and Maud here. Looks like, because if I had to, they got a message via a letter, which is weird. Why would they just do? They got a message or a letter from the Demardas in the Russet Waste, who are returning soon. So I think we should start planning for Onyx Obscurity, delving into. Maud said she's been there before, and Sham says he has quote unquote grievances. So,
yeah,
something about his sister was taken.
Yeah,
his eyes should kind of go like a little bit wide, or like then squint, or like.
I thought you knew that.
Yeah.
It's the perfect place to hide a person.
Okay, we are like pretty deep into past the blacklights right now, but we're making our way, and so as soon as we're done, we'll come back. Do you have any ideas as of right now?
Yeah, looks like we're gonna do like a little infiltration party. I was going to go originally, but maybe it's not the best idea for me to re-enter that place that I was taken to for so long. Especially since I can't remember every detail of me being there, and that I probably will be Arathia's first target, if I had to guess.
Fair.
Yeah, we're thinking Maud will go with you. The Demardus will stay back here. I guess Balthazar has something to help you guys or something with blood stuff.
Sure.
And then Sean is gonna go too.
Okay.
And then I was thinking about sending V2, and then I could talk via...
This? And I, like, tap the sending stuff.
If you, like, tap V2's head, he's like... like, he gets all excited. Yeah, that was my, idea. But, there's some stuff that I wanted to share with, actually, you and Chase specifically. But, if things are too intense down there, maybe I leave that till you guys get back.
I mean, we're set up camp right now. We're pretty secure, so it's intense, but no.
It's heavy. Is that okay?
Everyone else will be asleep soon, so...
Yeah, that's true. Shay and I are taking first watch, so...
Okay, well then I'll just wait till then, I guess. Sorry to sound upbeat. I'm trying to not let anything take me down. And then you see V2, like, paw up, and then, like, hand, like, his paw shifts, thumb, like... Alright, so everyone else, like, kind of settles in for the night? Shay and Terrence.
He probably, like, just sits down next to her if there is, like, a little fire or just a glowing cinnamon. I wonder how heavy is going to be, and why it pertains to us specifically.
That is, yes, a great question.
It's been a heavy day already for me, so
True.
I think I can handle it, and then I'll just go to sleep, and then...
What's another one?
What's another one? The horrors persist. So, I open V2's mouth. Is this thing on? Hello?
Oh, hey. So, I don't know how to broach this topic. So as you might remember, I died, and then I came back, I guess, and Arathia had me doing things.
Mm-hmm.
I can say I do kind of remember a little bit here and there, but it wasn't actually until Maud told me some things, and some things she actually just recently found out, because Sean had her kind of on the Arathia tale, that some things were noticed. I'm being very vague. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I don't know the best way to approach this conversation. I think Arathia was making an adventuring party of her own.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
And I think my role has been obviously revoked. Maud got some intel on who might be left of those people I might have been working with and not remembering, which is also part of the reason why I probably shouldn't go when we have the infiltration mission.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Shay or Terrence, who should I shoot first in this?
Hang on.
Oh, yes.
Terrence holds out, like, a rock, paper, scissors solution.
Yeah.
We're actually gonna do this.
Yes. Okay,
Ready?
there we go.
One, two, three, shoot. You lose, so Shay first.
There we go. There we go.
Shay, do you know a Yuan-Ti named Lyra?
Shay's face completely drops.
She was
Terrence's eyes widen for a different reason, because I'm putting some pieces together.
I know who she is, yes.
Okay.
Why?
Apparently, she has a similar hold Arathia had, I guess, on me and Sham, but more like me than Sham, because Sham and also apparently Maud was telling Casimir or other people, they had like these gems, but I don't think it's a gem thing. I think it's like a full domination thing.
What?
She's been seen so it's been her who's been seen, and I guess she is a big name in the 11th Murkside.
Yeah, that is, yes, putting it mildly, yes.
So I'm sure a very powerful person. I'm sorry. As well as a tiefling who looks very similar to Sean. Her name is Loretta, apparently. Sean is not here currently. He's in the baths, having an unhaunted time, apparently. But
Shay looks at Terrence and is like, I'm assuming that's the sister then.
Yeah, Maud said that's Sean's sister, who is the reason why Sean ended up getting possessed in the first place.
I'm just gonna take... Terrence's, like, eyes are squinted closed. I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark here. Is it K or Chwaz?
Neither.
Oh. Okay. Then who's...
What does the name Kylos Astonis mean to you?
Sorry, this is Vic. My heart just fucking dropped into my stomach. My dad?
Your father?
He's kind of like this big guy.
I was 3.
I thought he died.
He was killed in the wilds. Or I thought.
But then Ezra was as well, so she's been bringing people back.
Was your friend?
No, she was fine. As far as I know, she was fine. I would have heard something. I've seen her throughout the years.
Well, apparently it's this Kylos guy, Loretta. This guy Maud remembers when she went in with Connie, named Kuzon from the Grove.
Oh.
And this person named Tarin. I don't know if anybody knows who that is, but...
Well, we do know Kuzon, somewhat.
So, I think that's going to be something that is going to be involved with. I thought since we knew, well, we all thought, it's not like I want to get to Maud, so I probably should tell you.
Yes.
If she has I have maybe a kinder voice, I don't really know.
I appreciate the heads up, because if I walked in and saw my father after 20 years, I don't know exactly what I would do.
Do we have any knowledge of how to break their enchantments or their Arathia's hold on them?
I mean, the only way with me was I was wished out of it. I know theories are still kind of running awry, but I will point out that despite the weird dweller, Yofet creature, demon, celestial, ancient things, I think having a trespasser god tied to you, Arathia is the most powerful person in Sabraria right now.
Yes.
I don't think they even hold a candle to her.
Yeah.
As she can do that.
That's why I think she's the mother. I put air quotes around.
Which is... I might go see if I can find Axel. And my mom and dad.
Yeah. I think it's as safe a time as ever to see them again. I'm sure they'll be so happy to see you.
I just worry because of Arathia, but I'm not gonna... I don't want to call them. Yeah,
listen, we're gonna take care of her. We're gonna put our all into it to make sure that she can't do this shit anymore. And you'll get to see your family again. And if all goes well, then the people that are a part of this fucked up adventuring party will also be free from her.
I just know that whenever everybody gets back, we're starting some plans. Hopefully Sean tomorrow will be in better spirits. I think Sean is also going to go to the 12th to get some allies that he and Finley know and he'll want to know.
Yeah, I think there are some martyrs up in
there
the
are.
12th.
They're lovely. I've met at least a few of them.
Yeah, Philomena, Opal, and maybe Pascal, but Sean said he's kind of old now.
We'll get this done.
Yeah. Kind of like stutters for a second, and then just, yeah.
Would it help if I said, imagine if I give you a hug? I know.
Yeah, that would help.
Okay, imagine that I'm giving you a hug.
Okay. Well, good night, Shay.
Good night, Ezra.
Good night. Good night, Terrence.
Speak soon.
Good night. He kind of closes the mouth.
And then V2 just gonna curl up, just getting to. Ooh.
2 things. First, can I just do something real quick?
Yes.
He kind of grabs you by the shoulders. He goes, "Holy shit, my dad's alive!" He doesn't yell, but he's like, "Holy shit, my dad's alive!"
Shay giggles a little bit and nods and holds on. It's just yes.
That's crazy. Okay. Second thing?
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you. I mean, I think, I don't know if everyone knows, or if it's just maybe no one knows. My dad, I'm a little bit afraid. When my dad left, I was a little girl. And he looks at Shay so he might not even recognize me at all. Or know who I am. So maybe I can play that up, but I'm also assuming since he's under Arathia's control that'll maybe fuck with me. So we'll see. Yeah.
Shay just nods and kind of ponders it for a second.
So, I don't know. I just wanted to kind of put out the fear that I had. Not fear, it's just a kind of a thought that's in my head. So, yeah.
Well, Terrence, I know we're going to be dealing with a lot in all of these sorts of things, but if Arathia or your father, or Arathia through your father, or any of that sort of situation tries to play on that or shake you in that way,
That's fucked up.
it's very fucked up, and we will make sure that they feel the pain for it.
Yeah. So I hate that she has control of my dad at all, and all of these people. Who is Lyra to you?
Shay pauses. It's just like, that is a very complicated answer. Let's just say, for simplicity's sake, she was the leader of the Needles. She was one of my very first combat teachers, so she started teaching me a lot of what I know. So that alone is something to consider. And we'll leave it at that for now, because it's a lot.
Okay. Terrence like leans his head on Shay's shoulder. Today's been weird. Today has been really weird for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna go to sleep now.
And that is where we're going to end today's session. We will be
The Table is Yours releases episodes in video and podcast format every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. You can follow The Table is Yours everywhere by the handle @TTIYDND. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you at the table next time.